Good Thursday morning. We were just talking about it being Thursday, and I couldn't remember what day it was. May the 30th. We are live on the KGNS Digital News Desk. We've gotten past the storm. We've gotten past the elections, and we're back to normal. Of course, a lot of the stories I'm going to share with you this morning are from the storm. Also, a follow-up to the warehouse fire that took place earlier in the week. And there is some breaking news in regard to Congressman Henry Cuellar. So I'll get to that here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we like to check in with Yolanda Villarreal because she's the one that keeps an eye on weather for us. She's been a busy little bee this week.
I look
Yolanda,
like a bee today.
you do
The
look like a
colors
bee
I'm
today.
wearing, yeah.
How are you this morning?
I am doing great. Last Tuesday night is when we had those showers and thunderstorms. It was a line of thunderstorms, and the correct term, the National Weather Service did come and investigate what's going on, what caused those strong winds that damaged properties, even fence down trees as well. So far their conclusion is that this was a microburst. What's the difference between a microburst and a tornado? So I do have, right now I'm not going to show you that graphic. I was supposed to be showing you a graphic so you guys could kind of get a clue. So what a microburst is, it's like straight winds that are coming down from those clouds, and they're straight line winds. So you would see fence fall completely flat straight, and also down trees where they're flat straight to the ground. If this were a tornado, you would be seeing tires up in the roof, trees twisted up. So that's the difference, because in a tornado, the winds are swirling around, while in the microburst, the winds are directly straight and head outward. So that's why we saw many down fence, down trees, and also houses lost their rooftop as well. And there was one in Green Ranch where there was a wood stand from the fence that went into the house and made that hole as well. But yes, thank God for today, we're not looking at anything like that. We're just looking at very warm temperatures that they're going to start to warm up. So right now here in Texas, we do see in Amarillo, their temperatures are ranging in the 60s all the way into El Paso in the 80s already. 83 for Del Rio, 85 for San Antonio, 86 for us here at home, reaching those 90-degree temperatures. Also in McAllen and Brownsville in the upper 80s, even Corpus Christi, 83 for Austin, 77 for Dallas. Dallas, make sure you stay weather aware because there are some showers and thunderstorms headed your way. Also for Houston, 85 is their current temperature. So now moving on to those areas already getting some showers and thunderstorms. Here we do see it's from Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, and Dallas. You're starting to see these showers and thunderstorms, and some of these showers and thunderstorms could produce lots of heavy rainfall. So you guys are probably going to start to see severe weather warnings and also flood warnings, and these thunderstorms could be accompanied by large hail, strong winds that could be damaging like the ones we got here, but also isolated tornadoes could be possible. Then we do see all the way into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. They're also getting these showers and thunderstorms, and we do see from the Dakotas all the way down into Kansas, Nebraska. They're also getting these showers and thunderstorms. So what is that severe weather that is expected today, this afternoon as well, all the way into tonight? We do see Lubbock is in that enhanced risk. So their weather, these showers and thunderstorms could produce isolated tornadoes, large hail, and those damaging winds with flood warnings in effect for them could be possible due to the severe weather that is expected. Dallas all the way into Waco and Austin, all the way into western parts of Texas, you guys are under a slight risk. Then here we do see from Houston all the way down into San Antonio, Uvalde, and Cotula, El Sinal, you guys are under this marginal risk, but also it would be north of Webb County that they're going to be under this marginal risk, meaning that there could be some showers and thunderstorms that could develop in those areas and produce heavy rainfall, possible hail as well, and strong winds. And then we do see Laredo. What's going on with us all the way into Corpus Christi? We're at a low risk of those severe showers and thunderstorms. I do believe it could be from a 10 to a 20%, if any, late this afternoon into tonight. I just got to mention it's a 10 to 20%. We're not expected to see anything that severe like Tuesday night. So far it's just looking like a 10 to 20%, but it's mainly north of Webb County that they're under that marginal risk. So for today, lots of sunshine, breezy conditions. It is going to be a breezy weekend as well. So for today, gusts up to 26 miles per hour could be possible. Sunny skies, temperatures ranging in the low to upper 90s. Our heat index values are not expected to be that brutal for today. We're expected to reach a high of 101, and our heat index value could range all the way up to 108 this afternoon. Our excessive heat risk for today, so we do see mainly around 3 p.m. It's already going to be at a high risk all the way up to 7 p.m. and then we're slowly going to start to see those heat index risks dropping. But for tomorrow as well, we're going to start to see that it peaks a little bit high, increasing into that very high risk for heat exhaustion. So just keep this in mind. Our temperatures are slowly going to start to increase, and that's when we're going to start to see heat index values already ranging back into 113 by this weekend. So highs in the triple digits, our mornings and nights in the upper 70s to low 80s. Humid conditions, hazy skies will continue, and we're looking at breezy conditions as well all the way into the weekend. So not much of a change. And also Saturday, June 1st, is the official start of Atlantic hurricane season, and it's expected to be very active. Back to you, Ruben.
Okay, Yolanda, thank you very much. So, rain or no rain?
I have to mention.
I know you just literally went through the whole thing,
Yeah,
but come on, it's gonna rain.
Look, I would say we're not expected to get rain.
Okay.
But I just gotta mention it out there since there's gonna be like lots of showers and thunderstorms near Webb, and North Webb could probably see some since they're gonna be under that marginal risk.
Yeah. Is it hazy right now?
There is some haze.
We're looking at a shot from the sky cam. I know you can't see it, but yeah, it looks kind of hazy out there.
Yeah,
Some
there is
clouds.
some haze. And also, if you see more of that haze continuing, it's because there's like wildfires occurring in Mexico too.
Okay.
Their agriculture and stuff like that.
All right, thanks, Yolanda, for your time. Yolanda Villarreal will be on Telemundo en tu casa in
The Villarreal
45 minutes. Well, the Villarreal show is at noon.
Yeah.
So you'll be on Telemundo first at 11, and then I'll see you on the noon show. Yolanda, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, and I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll give you some breaking news in regard to Congressman Henry Cuellar, and then we'll have some of the stories that we ran following up to the storm on Tuesday. Stay with me. Okay, welcome back to the KGNS Digital News Desk on this Thursday morning. According to NBC News, the House Ethics Committee said on Wednesday it'll open an investigation into Representative Henry Cuellar, who was recently indicted in a federal bribery case. The panel said in a statement that it had unanimously voted to form a subcommittee tasked with investigating Cuellar after the Justice Department this month released an indictment accusing Cuellar and his wife Imelda of accepting a $598,000 in bribes from foreign entities, including a Mexican bank and an oil and gas company controlled by Azerbaijan. The subcommittee will have jurisdiction to investigate whether Cuellar solicited or accepted bribes, gratuities, or improper gifts, acted as a foreign agent, violated federal money laundering laws, misused his official position for private gain, and or made false statements or omissions on public disclosure statements filed with the House. Before the charges were unsealed this month, Cuellar denied any wrongdoing and said he had proactively sought legal advice from the panel. In a statement Wednesday, Cuellar reaffirmed his innocence. He will, I'm getting this straight from the NBC News website. I'm just going to stop there. Of course, Congressman Henry Cuellar now has an opponent in November, as Jay Furman recently, just on Tuesday, won the runoff election. And so there's your matchup now in November. Congressman Henry Cuellar has a challenger on the Republican side once again. Last time around, it was Cassie Rodriguez, I believe. It'll be Jay Furman, who just recently defeated Lázaro Garza. So definitely keep an eye on that. Well, in other news, a firefighter is hurt after battling a warehouse fire reported in North Laredo on Tuesday. Our Orlando Gonzalez spoke with officials about the treatment that person is getting and where the investigation into the fire stands. Orlando?
Warehouse fire broke out of the intersection of South. It's been hours since a warehouse fire broke out of the intersection of South Unitek Drive and Carriers. A firefighter, risking his life while on duty, is now under intensive care unit at Doctors Hospital. Hernan Martinez, spokesperson for the fire department, says there are several factors that contributed to the ongoing fire.
Inside the warehouse, there was a lot of hay, so that's what's making it a little bit tougher to put it out. It's very dense, and the roof did collapse, so it was a total loss of the structure.
The fire causing long lines of traffic, bumper to bumper, from 18-wheelers to commercial vehicles. The traffic jam caused by the warehouse fire has left drivers very overwhelmed, such as the case of Alejandro Flores, who says the traffic has affected his job.
Been waiting in traffic a long time now to deliver a cargo shipment to a warehouse, but traffic has caused me to fall behind on my deliveries for the day. The traffic is really bad and I still have a lot of deliveries to make, and I don't think I will be able to finish them because of the backed up traffic.
For driver Claudio Perez, he's been unable to deliver his cargo and says his work is delayed because of it.
I have a lot of cargo pending to be delivered, but we can't at the moment because of the traffic and long lines. It took me about 2 hours to drive over to mile 18 so I could turn around and come in through Uniroyal Drive. It's very stressful because we can't come in or get out. Like right now, it's going to take me a long time to exit.
As the investigation continues, Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino has released a statement about the firefighter hurt. It reads in part, "Anytime that there is a fire in our community, there is a real risk placed on the lives of our brave firefighters. The firefighter's family is requesting prayers from the community and respectfully asks for privacy during this difficult time." For KGNS News, I'm Orlando Gonzalez.
Okay, now back to the storm that happened on Tuesday. According to the National Weather Service, it was a squall line that passed through Laredo. In that time, it brought sheets and sheets of rain and left a trail of damage far and wide, not just here, but in surrounding communities. Our KGNS News anchor, Mindy Caso, went out there to survey some of the damage left behind. And here's her report, Mindy.
It was a storm that some are describing as a freight train barreling through the neighborhood. It dropped a large amount of water in just a short period of time, flooding lots of parts of town. But even worse, strong wind gusts that have some residents thinking this was not just your average storm. These winds were so powerful last night, even though registering at 59 miles per hour, some of the residents here that are now starting to come out of the homes are thinking it might have even been a small tornado. If you see some of the signs, this is a city sign right here that is completely bent over, lying down. You can see that the wind was so strong, it completely bent the metal as if it were butter. You can see just debris of the fence line just down the entire street, and even pieces of scrap metal that are wrapped around the power lines up on top. So a wind so powerful like this that it even took out roofs. There are pieces of shingle strewn all over the place. There are holes in roofs. It's just a massive area of destruction. And on top of that, a house that has a hole on the side of it. Fortunately, those folks are doing okay this morning. So just a massive storm that hit this part of the Mines Road.
That inner wall where that hole is where my wife was
While out there this morning, the owner of the home, whose second-story wall of his house was ripped open by a flying fence panel, tells us he's never seen anything like this. He describes to us the frantic call he got from his wife.
I wasn't home. I had just left to work. I was just getting to work when my wife called me on the phone, and she told me, she was like, the wall is gone. The wall is gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? The storm. The wall is gone. And I could hear the fear in her voice. And I told my supervisor I'm taking off, and I drove home.
Finding at home everyone in his family, including their pets, safe in other parts of the house. Something he says is more important than any material thing he may have lost. Reporting from Green Ranch for KGNS News, I'm Mindy Caso.
All right, thanks a lot, Mindy. From there, we go to Rio Bravo and El Cenizo. Our Christian Del Rio was out there talking to some of the folks about the impact that the storm had on them as well. So let's go to Christian Del Rio. Christian?
It was pretty wild last night. Wind was blowing really hard, and we felt like a shake in the house. Boom, at one point.
Trees fallen to the ground, roof panels on cars, billboard signs, and street lights knocked over. On Wednesday, both cities of Rio Bravo and El Cenizo looked like a scene out of a natural disaster movie. KGNS arrived at the city of El Cenizo, where we spotted torn rooftops, street lights, and even significant damage outside of Liliana Rivera's property.
Well, it was like around 10:30. The storm started getting really, really bad, and all we heard was like a really loud bang. So my husband came out and checked, and we saw that the whole wall was down. The whole wall fell off.
And then it got really, really bad, and that's when I heard the whole house shook.
Kurt Rich, also an El Cenizo resident, tells us how his four-legged friend sensed Tuesday's big storm.
This dog here, about 8:30 last night, before the weather started, she never comes in the house. And my wife was going into the house, and she ran in the house, and she wouldn't want to get out the house. That's before it even started.
As we left the city of El Cenizo, we arrived at the city of Rio Bravo, where more damages were seen almost on every corner. However, one house located at the 500 block of Rio Nilo Street was nearly torn away. The family, who did not want to be on camera, showed us the damages in and out of the house, including the dining room, the living room, and even the outside of the house's porch. All of it completely destroyed.
We have families who their houses have collapsed to them, completely gone. I do not have any reports of anybody who has thankfully been hurt or wounded or nothing by that sort, and I hope that we keep it that way. And as far as right now, I just think that it's the damages that have greatly affected our city.
City officials from both Rio Bravo and El Cenizo called this event a historical natural disaster. But now, citizens continue to pick up the pieces of what once they called their forever home. For KGNS News, I'm Christian Del Rio.
Thanks a lot, Christian. I've got an update to that, by the way. Rio Bravo, El Cenizo families continue to take shelter at the Rio Bravo City Hall building after Tuesday's storm caused hundreds to be without electricity. According to the mayor of Rio Bravo, Amanda Agüero, they continue to have families at the shelter as of this morning. Agüero also confirmed certain homes are still without power and will not be restored until tomorrow. All right, and wrapping up our stories on the storm, because that was the focus yesterday. It was really all there was to talk about around town. It was a big impact on this community. And we go back to power outages. According to AEP, about 13,000 clients were reportedly left in the dark as a result of the storm last night. AEP has provided us with an update. There are 567 clients among the cities of El Cenizo, Laredo, and Rio Bravo still without power. Actually, that was as of last night, so that may be updated. But our Salma Lozano wraps up this coverage this morning with an overview of the situation those thousands of people were left in for hours. Salma?
10,000 people by the morning hours of Wednesday had their power restored as crews worked through the night, according to Tony Arce, External Affairs Manager for AEP Texas. 4,500 additional outages were then reported Wednesday morning in central Laredo. As of 1 p.m., 2,700 people remain without power in Laredo.
Some of the remaining outages, you start getting to areas that were physically affected with, power lines down, trees on power lines, broken poles, and those areas take a little bit more time to repair, but we do have crews in place to be able to restore power.
Noraida Negron, spokesperson for the city of Laredo, states that in the case of a natural disaster or severe weather, the Emergency Operations Center is immediately activated, putting every emergency department on standby, from the Laredo Police Department in the case of road closures to Public Works to pick up debris. It's a communication and coordination within the departments that Negron states makes the city of Laredo be prepared in the case of emergency weather situations.
Chief for the fire department, he's also the emergency management coordinator. He has been nonstop since last night, checking on all of the different calls that were coming in. We were getting a lot of calls, whether it was, flooding or what happened at Green Ranch with a home almost collapsing. Roofs were ripped out of several homes.
Arce adds that their team had been monitoring the weather and had crews in place, enabling them to respond quickly and effectively, restoring power to multiple homes throughout the night. Negron states that the Eleden and the Cigarroa recreation centers are available to the public as cooling centers for those still without electricity. For KGNS News, Salma Lozano.
Thanks a lot, Salma. That's going to do it for now. I will see you on KGNS News at noon, and then I'll see you on KGNS News today, and then I'll see you back here at 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I believe I'll be here tomorrow morning. We're recording Beyond the Headlines tomorrow, but I think we're doing that early, so make sure you stay tuned. We've got all of our newscasts still to go today. We have Telemundo Tu Casa coming up in 30 minutes. We have KGNS News at noon, and then we have all of our afternoon newscasts starting at 4:30 in Spanish on Telemundo. We've got the early edition, the evening edition, the late edition on KGNS. Telemundo has a 5 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. If you don't catch any of our newscasts, which, by the way, you can catch all of our newscasts by streaming through the website, or you can stream the newscast live on our app. You can also download the KGNS app on Roku, on Fire Stick, there's a bunch of platforms. I know I'm missing a whole bunch. You can find us everywhere. I have a lot of people tell me, you know what, we don't watch TV anymore. We don't sit in front of the TV to watch newscasts. Well, we got you covered. You can really watch us streaming in a whole lot of places. And then, of course, we have the digital news desk here that runs on the app, the website, and on the YouTube channel. So wherever you're watching, thank you much, and we'll see you when we see you. Have a blessed rest of your Thursday.